Anxiety and worry are not going to mess up your specific person manifestation, and it all has to do with the difference of self esteem or self concept and your self efficacy. So, when we approach manifestation, what do most people talk about? Do most coaches say, right? We need our self concept, right? Our self esteem, our self worth to be very high in order to get what we want. And I would say that's true. I've talked about in the past your self-concept being the basis for which you build, or your foundation which you build your manifestation from. But really, that's only half of the equation. And the other thing I said is your self-efficacy. And this is your ability or belief that you can accomplish a task. And so what that means is someone could be manifesting and not getting the results they want because, and maybe they have the perfect self-concept. They feel very confident in themselves. Their self-worth is high, but their belief in doing this specific task is not high, and that's why they're very confident, but seemingly not manifesting their specific person. And the same can go in the opposite, because that's usually the argument when it comes to self-concept. How come this person has manifested their specific person, but they have a low self-concept, right? And that's because their self-efficacy, their feeling or ability that they can make or receive a relationship is high. And these two, again, are in tandem with each other, but actually do not have anything to do with each other. They're slightly related, but they're not. Because I've actually been asked that question multiple times. How come? Like, I've been told, okay, self-concept is important. And people are like, well, then how does that make sense, right? I know someone who feels really depressed or bad about themselves, has anxiety, worry, but they're in a relationship. So what's up with that? And again, that all has to do with self-efficacy. So that's our belief. And as we know, in assumption, our belief is the most important thing that we can have, right? It's your ability or confidence to complete a task. And that basically goes above and beyond everything else happening, because you can know your self-worth is the greatest. And again, it's a way to live a happier life and have a more abundant manifestation is understanding your self-worth. So having your self-concept high. But truly, if our self-efficacy is low, then there's nothing we can do. Because you can go into a test. Let's say you're going into a race. You can have a high self-worth and lose the race, right? And you could just as easily have a low self-worth and be the best and know you're the best at this race and win it. So then that's what we want to focus on right now. If you've been working on self-concept, I want you to add the work of self-efficacy into that. So your belief that you can and will have this relationship. And I can't tell you how many times in coaching sessions this has been one of the most important and impactful things to focus on that cause you to receive results much faster. Because really, this combination seems like it's an influence, right? Self-concept almost seems like you're understanding your self-worth, seems like it is the most important thing, but really it's your belief that you can do it, right? What's that Henry Ford quote? If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So then the idea and what I want you really to take out of this video is then understanding that worries, anxieties are not affecting your manifestation at all, as long as you just have the self-efficacy that you can do this thing. And it doesn't mean that you feel that you can do it right now, okay? If you think I can at some point understand and get this relationship, that is good enough. So if right now you're like, I don't feel perfect as I am, that's okay. That's the whole reason I'm here to help you, right? It's okay. But knowing and having the belief that I can through A, B, C, D, again, whatever conditions we've set on our desire, truly we don't need conditions, but I'll make another video on that. If we just know, have the self-efficacy that we can do it, That's literally a majority of the way there. And so if you're like, we don't want to say screw self-worth, but if we're like, I don't really care about that, I just want to manifest my specific person, then we want to focus more on self-efficacy. And then what this means is, if we want to change that, is focusing on why we feel we can't have a relationship, right? Focusing on why we feel, or what belief is causing us to not seemingly jump into these relationships, or what is causing us to not feel like our specific person is absolutely in love with us right now. And there's actually 4 ways in which we can do this and increase our self-efficacy so you can manifest in the quickest and easiest possible way. Obviously, I really wouldn't forget about self-concept, but right now in this video, we want to focus on our self-efficacy. And so the first one is throwing yourself into situations that touch on whatever limiting beliefs we feel are impacting us. So this means if it's a relationship, if we truly don't feel that we can get into a relationship with our specific person, that's our self-efficacy of relationships is low, we need to look at, what do the people do that have a low self-concept but are in a relationship, have that high self-efficacy? And you'd say they throw themselves at dates, at talking, hanging out with their specific person or other people in general. They have a lot of experience in relationships, and that causes their own self-efficacy or their belief to improve. And again, you can have anxiety, you can have worries, you can have fears, but if you are experiencing things and that is held within you, you are going to believe that you can do it 1,000 times better than anyone else. Because even if you do have a fear or worry or anxiety, you know, yeah, but I did it and I could do it again. Think about going on a roller coaster. If you're really nervous or scared about going on a roller coaster, but you've been on a ton, you can have worries and fears, but you're like, yeah, but every time I go on a roller coaster, I survive. So, and it basically eliminates any of those fears or worries or anxieties, right? Because you're like, I survived every single time, so what am I fearful about now? The same thing is with our specific person manifestation. If we're putting ourselves into those scenes, into those environments, we have that confidence of, I did it once, I can do it again. And the second one, so the second thing that's going to help with self-efficacy is actually, and I know it sounds so easy, but actually viewing and relating to success stories. So I know I haven't recently been talking about a lot of success stories on here, but on my TikTok, I used to always include in every single video a success story. But jumping in and seeing that other people can do it is going to increase your belief that you can do it as well. So when you see success stories, don't allow them to get you down, because sometimes they get us down like, oh my gosh, this person manifested an hour after Kyle's phone call. Why can't I do that as well? And you can. And that's why it's going to increase your self-efficacy. So look at those success stories and allow them to motivate you, and review them and model those people. So basically act as those people who get it. Just ask yourself, what did they do? How did they do it? What did they think? And you're going to have that same level of success. The third one is social persuasion, if I could say that, is that people around you telling you that you can do it. So the trick would be, if you don't have a lot of people, like let's say you're manifesting an ex, which we've all done before, and your family or friends don't really support it. One, I would say find someone who does support you, or if not, you can actually use this social persuasion in yourself. That's the whole point of affirmations. Like, switch your affirmations to, I can do it. I am doing it. I already have done it. It's so easy. It's so effortless. Affirmations like that can replace social persuasion of people outside of you telling you can do it, or telling you that you can do it with yourself. But really, if you can get a manifestation buddy, I'll be your manifestation buddy. I thought we're already best friends. What's up with that? I'll tell you every single day that you can do it 100%. So if you want to be manifestation buddies, just comment it in the section below, and I will literally support you every single step of the way. And the fourth one, and I know this is going to sound weird, but physical and mental fitness. So basically, putting yourself in situations that make you feel abundant or make you feel loved or match that thing that you're trying to do. And you've heard me say this in other videos. In my videos, I've talked about how we want to begin matching that end state. And literally, that's all of law of assumption, right? Assuming as if you already have it. So literally match that end state of those feelings, those emotions, those beliefs you'd have, and that helps with your self-efficacy. Like think about any other goal, right? Thinking of what it would feel like if you won that race that we talked about or accomplished whatever it is that you want. That's going to make you feel as if you already did it and then give you that self-efficacy, increase it so that you can actually achieve it. So again, the whole point of this video, I want you to know anxiety and worry is not going to mess up your manifestation. And if you feel ever stuck in what you're doing, I want you to still focus on self-concept, but focus more on self-efficacy, okay? The feeling that you can do it. Because your belief, and I might have talked about this, I think I told you this in another video, but the belief that you can do it is like that starting point. I've talked about this before. It's like if you think you can, you think you can't, you're right. So that self-efficacy is the starting point of you improving your self-concept and everything like that. So try it out. And again, I want to be your best friend manifestation buddy. So comment down below any of your thoughts, ideas, questions, worries. I'll be happy to answer them. We're all a community helping each other out. Or if you wanted to send me a personal question, head over to my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where you can get me directly if it's something that you didn't want to put below or just needed some extra help, okay? But again, remember, worries, anxieties do not mess up your manifestation. You are doing fantastic. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in the next video.